First contact. The vast emptiness of space stretched before Captain Zara Chen as she guided her small survey ship through an uncharted sector. After months of solitary exploration, the isolation was starting to wear on her. But Zara had volunteered for this mission, driven by an insatiable curiosity about what lay beyond known space. As she absently flipped switches on the control panel, a flash of color caught Zara's eye. She leaned forward, squinting at the view screen. There, against the inky backdrop of space, was an unmistakable flicker of light, artificial and rhythmic. No way, Zara breathed, her heart beginning to race. She dreamed of this moment since childhood, but never truly believed it would happen. First contact. With trembling hands, Zara activated the ship's more sensitive long-range scanners. As data began streaming across her monitors, her eyes widened in amazement. The signal was coming from a massive structure, easily the size of a small moon, and it was teeming with life. Zara hesitated for just a moment before making her decision. She knew protocol dictated she should return to Earth immediately to report her discovery. But the thought of turning back now was unbearable. Taking a deep breath, she plotted a course for the alien megastructure. As Zara's ship drew closer, she marveled at the intricacy of the construct. It was a dizzying array of interconnected spheres and cylinders, pulsing with soft bioluminescence. Unlike the utilitarian ships and stations of human design, this structure had an almost organic quality, as if it had been grown rather than built. A crackling sound filled the cockpit as her communication system picked up an incoming transmission. Zara's pulse quickened as she scrambled to activate the universal translation software. This was it, humanity's first words with an alien civilization. The alien's face materialized on her view screen, and Zara had to stifle a gasp. The being before her was breathtakingly beautiful, with luminous purple skin and eyes like swirling galaxies. When it spoke, its voice was melodic and soothing. "Greetings, traveler," the alien said. "We are the Lizari. We welcome you to our humble home." Zara took a deep breath, acutely aware of the monumental nature of this moment. "I am Captain Zara Chen of Earth," she replied, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I come in peace and friendship." The Lizari's expression was difficult to read, but Zara sensed a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. "We are unfamiliar with your species," the alien said, "but we invite you to dock at our station so that we may learn of one another." As Zara guided her ship towards the indicated docking port, her mind whirled with questions. The Lizari seemed peaceful, even welcoming, but she couldn't shake a nagging sense of unease. There was something about their manner, a hint of desperation perhaps, that made her wary. The docking procedure went smoothly, and Zara found herself standing before the airlock, heart pounding as she waited for it to cycle open. As the door slid aside with a soft hiss, she came face to face with a small delegation of Lizari. Up close, the aliens were even more striking. Their bodies seemed to shimmer with an inner light, and they moved with an otherworldly grace. But it was their eyes that truly captivated Zara, depthless pools that seemed to hold entire universes within. One of the Lizari stepped forward, bowing slightly. "I am Naya, lead diplomat of our people. We are honored by your visit, Captain Chen." Zara returned the bow, hoping she wasn't inadvertently causing offense. "The honor is mine," she replied. "I never dreamed I'd have the privilege of meeting another sapient species." Naya's lips curved in what Zara hoped was a smile. "Come," the alien said, gesturing for Zara to follow. "There is much we have to discuss." As they walked through the station's winding corridors, Zara marveled at the organic architecture. The walls pulsed with soft bioluminescence, and she could have sworn she felt a faint throbbing beneath her feet, as if the entire structure was alive. "Your home is beautiful," Zara said, unable to contain her awe. "I've never seen anything like it." Naya's expression flickered with what might have been pride. "We are one with our dwelling," the alien explained. "It lives and grows as we do." They arrived at a large, circular chamber dominated by a holographic display of swirling stars and planets. Zara realized with a start that it was a map of the local sector, far more detailed than anything humans had charted. "Please sit," Naya said, gesturing to a group of low, cushioned seats. As Zara settled in, she noticed the other Lizari arranging themselves in a loose semicircle around her. Their gazes were intense, and she fought the urge to squirm under their scrutiny. "We have long wondered if we were alone in the universe," Naya began. "Your arrival brings us great joy, but also concern." Zara frowned. "Concern? I assure you, my people come in peace. We seek only knowledge and friendship." Naya held up a hand, its long fingers glimmering. "We do not doubt your intentions, Captain Chen, but your timing is fortuitous. You see, our civilization faces a grave threat, one that we fear may soon overwhelm us." As Naya spoke, the holographic display shifted, zooming in on a distant star system. Zara leaned forward, eyes widening as she took in the scene. A massive fleet of ships unlike any she'd seen before was gathered around a barren-looking planet. "Who are they?" Zara asked, a chill running down her spine. "We call them the Void Hunters," Naya replied, voice heavy with dread. "They are a scourge upon the galaxy, consuming all in their path, and they have set their sights on our world." Zara's mind raced as she processed this information. She had come seeking peaceful first contact, only to find herself thrust into an interstellar conflict. Part of her wanted nothing more than to return to her ship and flee back to the safety of Earth. But as she looked at the worried faces of the Lizari around her, she knew she couldn't abandon them. "Tell me everything," Zara said, straightening her shoulders. "If there's any way I can help, I will." Naya's eyes seemed to glow brighter at Zara's words. "Thank you, Captain Chen, but I must warn you, the path ahead is fraught with danger. Are you certain you wish to involve yourself in our struggle?" Zara met the alien's gaze steadily. "I'm sure," she replied. "My people have a saying, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. I won't stand idly by while your civilization is threatened." A ripple of what might have been relief passed through the assembled Lizari. Naya bowed deeply. "Your courage honors us, Captain Chen. Come, there is much to prepare if we are to face the coming storm." As Zara followed the Lizari from the chamber, her mind whirled with the enormity of what lay ahead. She had come seeking discovery, but found herself on the brink of war. Whatever challenges awaited, she was determined to face them head-on. The fate of not one, but two civilizations might hang in the balance. The quantum nexus. As Zara followed Naya through the living corridors of the Lizari station, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was walking through a dream. The walls pulsed with bioluminescent patterns that seemed to respond to their presence, creating a hypnotic dance of light and shadow. "Your technology is incredible," Zara marveled, running her hand along a wall that felt both warm and alive. "How do you integrate it so seamlessly with organic matter?" Naya's lips curved in what Zara was beginning to recognize as a smile. "It is not technology as you understand it, Captain Chen. What you see is the manifestation of our quantum consciousness." Zara's eyebrows shot up. "Quantum consciousness? You mean your entire civilization is connected?" "In a way your species might find difficult to comprehend," Naya replied. "We exist simultaneously as individuals and as a collective. Our thoughts, our very essence, are entangled at the quantum level." The implications made Zara's head spin. She had studied theoretical physics back on Earth, but this was beyond anything humans had even imagined possible. "That's incredible. But how does it work?" Naya led Zara into a vast chamber that took her breath away. The room was a perfect sphere, its walls shimmering with what looked like liquid starlight. At the center floated a pulsing orb of pure energy, tendrils of light reaching out to connect with the Lizari present. "This is the quantum nexus," Naya explained, voice filled with reverence. "The focal point of our shared consciousness. Through it, we can access the knowledge and experiences of our entire species, past, present, and even glimpses of possible futures." Zara stared in awe, her scientific mind racing to understand what she was seeing. "It's beautiful, but I don't understand. How does this relate to the threat you're facing?" Naya's expression darkened. "The Void Hunters seek to destroy the Nexus. Without it, our civilization would fracture, becoming vulnerable to their conquest." "But why?" Zara asked, struggling to comprehend the motives of a species that would target something so wondrous. "The Hunters are beings of pure entropy," another Lysari interjected. Zara turned to see a tall, willowy figure approach. Unlike the other Lysari, this one's skin was a deep midnight blue, etched with swirling patterns that reminded Zara of galaxies. "I am Zephyr, Keeper of Memories," the newcomer introduced themselves. "The Void Hunters exist to consume order, to return all things to chaos. Our quantum nexus represents the highest form of cosmic harmony, anathema to their very nature." Zara frowned, trying to wrap her mind around the concept. "So they're not just conquerors, they're cosmic destroyers." "Precisely," Naya confirmed. "And they grow stronger with each civilization they unmake. If they succeed in destroying our nexus, countless worlds will fall in their wake." The weight of the situation settled on Zara's shoulders like a physical thing. She was just one human, hopelessly outmatched against a threat of this magnitude. And yet, a spark of determination ignited within her. "There has to be a way to stop them," Zara insisted. "You said your nexus can glimpse possible futures. Have you seen any way you succeed?" Zephyr and Naya exchanged a look that Zara couldn't quite interpret. "We have seen possibilities," Zephyr said carefully. "But they are fragmented, unclear. Something about your presence here has introduced an element of chaos into our predictions." Zara's eyes widened. "Me, but I'm just." "A variable the Void Hunters could not have anticipated," Naya interrupted. "Your species' quantum signature is unique, unlike anything we've encountered before." "What does that mean?" Zara asked, a mix of excitement and trepidation coursing through her. Zephyr moved closer to the pulsing nexus, their hand hovering just above its surface. "It means, Captain Chen, that you may be the key to our survival. But to unlock that potential, you must join with the nexus." Zara took an involuntary step back. "Join with it? You mean become part of your collective consciousness?" "Not permanently," Naya assured her, "but a temporary melding of minds. It is not without risk. No human has ever attempted such a thing. The experience could overwhelm you." Zara's heart raced as she considered the implications. To touch the combined knowledge and experience of an entire alien civilization, it was a scientist's wildest dream. But the potential dangers were equally staggering. "What exactly would happen?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Zephyr's eyes seemed to peer into Zara's very soul as they spoke. "Your consciousness will expand beyond the confines of your physical form. You would experience the totality of our existence, past, present, and the myriad threads of possible futures. The knowledge contained within could reshape your understanding of the universe itself." "But," Naya added gently, "there is a chance your individual identity could be lost within the vastness of the collective. You must have absolute faith in who you are, or risk being swept away by the cosmic current." Zara took a deep breath, weighing her options. The rational part of her mind screamed that this was madness. She should return to her ship, warn Earth of the impending threat, and let those with more authority make the big decisions. But a deeper, more primal part of her being knew that this was why she had come to the stars. To push the boundaries of human experience, to go where no one had gone before. "If there's even a chance it could help save your people, and mine, from the Void Hunters, I have to try," Zara said, squaring her shoulders. Naya and Zephyr exchanged a look of what might have been relief, or perhaps resignation. "Very well," Zephyr said sullenly. "Prepare yourself, Captain Chen. What you are about to experience will change you forever." As Zara approached the pulsing quantum nexus, she felt a charge in the air, like the moment before a lightning strike. The tendrils of energy reached out to her, caressing her skin with ethereal fingers. Remember who you are. Naya's voice came from somewhere far away. Hold on to your core self, no matter what you see or feel. Zara nodded, took one final deep breath, and plunged her hand into the heart of the Nexus. The universe exploded behind her eyes. She was everywhere and everywhere at once. Zara experienced the birth of stars and the death of galaxies in the same instant. She felt the collective joy of the Lizari's first steps into space and the crushing sorrow as they witnessed the fall of ancient allies to the Void Hunters. Knowledge poured into her mind like a tsunami. The secrets of quantum entanglement, the true nature of dark matter, the harmonies of cosmic strings that formed the very fabric of reality. It was beautiful and terrifying and overwhelming. For a moment that lasted an eternity, Zara forgot who she was. She became one with the vast tapestry of Lizari consciousness, her individual identity a mere thread in the cosmic weave. But then, like a lifeline pulling her back from the brink, she heard a voice. Her own voice, echoing from some deep, unshakable part of her being. I am Zara Chen, explorer, scientist, human. With a monumental effort of will, Zara pulled herself back from the brink of oblivion. She became aware of her physical form once more, gasping for air as she collapsed to the floor of the Nexus chamber. Breathe, Captain Chen. Naya's soothing voice cut through the chaos in Zara's mind. You've done well. Focus on your breath, on the feel of the floor beneath you. Let it anchor you to the present. Gradually, the swirling maelstrom of cosmic knowledge receded to a manageable roar in the back of Zara's mind. She opened her eyes to find Naya and Zephyr kneeling beside her, their faces etched with concern. I saw. Zara struggled to find words to describe the indescribable. Everything. The past, countless possible futures. The Void Hunters. They're worse than we imagined. They're a cancer on reality itself. Zephyr nodded gravely. Now you understand the true nature of the threat we face. But did you see a way to stop them? Zara closed her eyes, sifting through the torrent of information swirling in her mind. I saw glimpses, fragments. There's a weapon. No, not a weapon. A tool. Something that could disrupt their quantum signature, unravel their very existence. The harmony cascade, Naya breathed, eyes wide with wonder. It was theorized by our ancestors, but we lack the knowledge to create it. But I saw how, Zara said, her excitement growing as the pieces fell into place. The Nexus showed me. It's a fusion of Lizari quantum technology and something uniquely human. Our capacity for chaos, for unpredictability. It's the key to destabilizing the Void Hunter's perfect entropy. Zephyr helped Zara to her feet, steadying her as she swayed slightly. Then we must act quickly. The Void Hunters draw ever closer, and we have much work to do if we are to create this harmony cascade. As they left the Nexus chamber, Zara's mind raced with possibilities. The knowledge she had gained was beyond price, but she knew instinctively that she had only scratched the surface. The universe was vaster and stranger than humanity had ever dreamed, filled with wonders and terrors beyond imagination. But for now, she had a job to do. 2 civilizations were counting on her, and Zara was determined not to let them down. As they hurried through the living corridors of the Lizari station, she allowed herself a small smile. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Zara knew one thing for certain: the Void Hunters had no idea what they were in for when they decided to mess with humanity. The Quantum Forge. The air crackled with energy as Zara stood before the massive Quantum Forge. The device, if you could call it that, was unlike anything she had ever seen. It was a swirling vortex of light and dark, matter and antimatter, all held in perfect balance by the advanced science of the Lizari. This is where we'll create the harmony cascade, Naya explained, her voice filled with a mix of awe and trepidation. But we've never attempted anything like this before. The energies involved, they're beyond anything we've ever harnessed. Zara nodded, her mind still reeling from the knowledge imparted by the quantum nexus. I understand, but we don't have a choice. The Void Hunters are coming, and this is our only shot at stopping them. Zephyr approached, carrying what looked like a small pulsing crystal. This contains the essence of our quantum technology, they explained. But to create the harmony cascade, we need to infuse it with something uniquely human. Zara frowned, considering. But what makes humans unique? We're not as technologically advanced as you. We don't have your quantum consciousness. Precisely, Naya interjected. Your unpredictability, your chaos. It's anathema to the Void Hunter's perfect entropy. We need to harness that essence. Zara's eyes widened as understanding dawned. You mean, you want to infuse this thing with my actual consciousness? My thoughts, my memories, my very being. Zephyr nodded sullenly. It's the only way. The harmony cascade must contain the full spectrum of human experience, your joys, your sorrows, your hopes and fears. Only then will it have the power to disrupt the Void Hunter's quantum signature. Zara took a deep breath, steadying herself. The implications were staggering. To pour her entire self into this weapon, would there be anything left of her afterward? As if reading her thoughts, Naya placed a comforting hand on Zara's shoulder. We cannot guarantee what will happen. The process has never been attempted before. But know this, your sacrifice, if it comes to that, would save countless lives across the galaxy. Zara closed her eyes, centering herself. When she opened them again, they blazed with determination. Let's do this. Tell me what I need to do. The next few hours were a blur of preparation. Zara was fitted with a sleek, form-fitting suit covered in pulsing quantum circuitry. Lysori scientists bustled around her, making final adjustments and calibrations to the forge. As Zara stepped onto the platform before the swirling vortex, she felt a moment of panic. Was she really ready to potentially sacrifice her very identity for a civilization she had only just met? But then she remembered the visions from the quantum nexus, the devastation wrought by the Void Hunters, the countless worlds snuffed out of existence. If she could prevent that, any price was worth paying. Remember, Zephyr's voice came through the comm in her suit. Focus on what makes you human. Your experiences, your emotions, the very essence of your being. The forge will do the rest. Zara nodded, took a deep breath, and stepped into the vortex. The sensation was indescribable. Every atom of her being felt like it was being pulled apart and reassembled. She saw flashes of her life, her childhood on Earth, her first steps on an alien world, the wonder of discovering the Lysari. But mixed with her memories were glimpses of things she had never experienced: the fall of ancient empires, the birth of stars, the very fabric of reality itself. Through it all, Zara clung to her sense of self. I am Zara Chen, she repeated like a mantra. Explorer, scientist, human. Just when she thought she couldn't take any more, when it felt like her very essence would be torn apart by the cosmic forces swirling around her, everything stopped. Zara found herself floating in an endless void. Before her hovered a pulsing orb of energy, swirling with colors she had no names for. Instinctively, she reached out and touched it. In that moment, Zara understood. The orb was the harmony cascade, but it was also her. Every memory, every emotion, every quantum of her being had been poured into this singular point of existence. With a blinding flash, Zara was thrown back into reality. She collapsed onto the platform, gasping for air. Naya and Zephyr were at her side in an instant, helping her to her feet. Did it work? Zara managed to croak out. Zephyr held up a small device, no larger than a human palm. It pulsed with an inner light, colors shifting and swirling in patterns that hurt Zara's eyes to look at directly. It worked, Naya breathed, awe evident in her voice. The harmony cascade is complete, but at what cost? Zara took stock of herself. She felt different, changed in ways she couldn't quite articulate, but she was still here, still herself, mostly. I'm okay, she assured them, though her voice shook slightly. But we don't have time to worry about me. The Void Hunters, how close are they? As if in answer to her question, alarms began blaring throughout the station. A holographic display sprang to life. showing a massive fleet of ships unlike anything Zara had ever seen. They were like holes in reality itself, areas of absolute darkness that hurt to look at. "They're here," Zephyr said grimly. "The final battle for the fate of the galaxy begins now." Zara straightened, a fierce determination burning in her eyes. "Then let's go greet our guests. It's time to show these cosmic horrors what happens when they mess with humanity." As they raced towards the command center, Zara felt the weight of two civilizations on her shoulders. But she also felt something else, a connection to the very fabric of the universe itself, born from her merge with the quantum nexus and the creation of the harmony cascade. Whatever came next, Zara knew one thing for certain: the Void Hunters had no idea what they were in for. The unpredictability of humanity was about to collide with the cosmic order, and the universe would never be the same. The cosmic gambit. The command center of the Lizari station hummed with nervous energy as Zara, Naya, and Zephyr burst through the doors. Holographic displays filled the air, showing the approaching Void Hunter fleet in all its terrifying glory. "Status report," Zara demanded, falling easily into a leadership role despite being the sole human present. A Lizari technician, her skin shimmering with anxiety, responded, "The Void Hunters have breached our outer defenses. Their quantum disruptors are unlike anything we've ever encountered. Our shields are failing." Zara's mind raced, processing information at a speed that would have been impossible before her merger with the quantum nexus. "We need to buy time," she said. "Zephyr, can we use the station's quantum entanglement network to create a temporary dimensional shift?" Zephyr's eyes widened in surprise. "Theoretically, yes, but the power requirements would be enormous. We've never attempted such a maneuver." "Now's the time for firsts," Zara replied grimly. "Naya, coordinate with the defense teams. We need to hold off their vanguard while we prepare the harmony cascade." As the Lizari scrambled to enact her orders, Zara felt a moment of surreal clarity. Here she was, a lone human, commanding an alien civilization in a battle for the fate of the galaxy. If only her old professors could see her now. The station shuddered as the first wave of Void Hunters made contact. Through the viewports, Zara could see their ships, if you could call them that. They were more like tears in the fabric of reality, areas of absolute darkness that seemed to devour light itself. "Dimensional shift initiated," Zephyr called out. The air around them shimmered, and for a brief, nauseating moment, Zara felt like she was in two places at once. When the sensation passed, the view outside had changed. The Void Hunter fleet seemed to have frozen in place, trapped in a moment of time. "It worked," Naya breathed in awe. "We've shifted slightly out of phase with normal space-time, but it won't last long." Zara nodded, her mind already racing ahead to the next step. "It's enough. Now, let's bring the fight to them." She held up the harmony cascade, the device pulsing with otherworldly energy in her hand. "I need direct access to their flagship. Can we use the quantum entanglement network to teleport me aboard?" The room fell silent, all eyes turning to Zara in shock. Naya was the first to speak, her voice trembling slightly. "Zara, that's suicide. Even if we could get you there, you'd be atomized by their entropy field in seconds." Zara's lips curved in a grim smile. "Maybe not. Remember, I'm not entirely human anymore. The quantum nexus changed me. And the harmony cascade, it's a part of me now. I know, I can withstand their entropy field long enough to activate the device." Zephyr stepped forward, their eyes boring into Zara's with an intensity that was almost painful. "You understand what you're proposing. Even if you succeed, there's no guarantee you'll survive. You'll be at the epicenter of a quantum event unlike anything the universe has ever seen." Zara met their gaze steadily. "I understand. But this is bigger than me, bigger than any of us. It's about the survival of all life in the galaxy. I have to try." A moment of heavy silence fell over the command center. Then, one by one, the Lizari began to bow their heads in a gesture of deep respect. Naya's eyes shimmered with what might have been tears as she spoke. "Your courage honors us all, Zara Chen of Earth, we will do everything in our power to give you this chance. The next few minutes were a whirlwind of activity as the Lizari prepared for the most audacious teleportation attempt in their history. Zara stood on a glowing platform, the harmony cascade clutched tightly to her chest. As the teleportation sequence began, Zara locked eyes with Naya and Zephyr one last time. "No matter what happens," she said, her voice steady despite the fear churning in her gut, "it has been an honor to know you. To glimpse the true wonders of the universe through your eyes." Before they could respond, Zara felt the familiar tingling sensation of teleportation. The world dissolved around her in a swirl of quantum particles. When reality reasserted itself, Zara found herself in a nightmare realm. The interior of the Void Hunter flagship was a twisted, non-Euclidean space that hurt her mind to look at directly. Tendrils of pure darkness writhed along the walls, floor, and ceiling, if such terms even applied in this place. Zara felt the entropy field trying to unravel her very being, but the changes wrought by the quantum nexus held firm. She was a beacon of order in this realm of chaos, and she could feel the Void Hunter's confusion and rage at her presence. Shadowy figures began to coalesce around her, their forms shifting and writhing in ways that defied physical laws. Their voices, if you could call them that, echoed in Zara's mind like the death throes of dying stars. Anomality, assimilate, consume, return L to the void. Zara stood her ground, raising the harmony cascade high. "Sorry, boys," she said with a defiance she didn't entirely feel. "But the universe isn't done yet. Humanity's got plans, and you're not part of them." She activated the device. The universe exploded. Zara felt herself stretched across all of space and time, her consciousness expanding to encompass the totality of existence. She saw the birth and death of galaxies, the rise and fall of countless civilizations, the grand tapestry of reality itself. And through it all, she felt the harmony cascade working its magic. The unique combination of Lizari quantum science and human unpredictability sent ripples through the cosmic order. The Void Hunters, beings of pure entropy, found themselves unable to maintain their cohesion in the face of this new chaotic harmony. With a soundless scream that echoed across dimensions, the Void Hunters began to unravel. Their ships imploded, collapsing in on themselves like dying stars. The entropy field that had fueled their conquest of the galaxy dissipated, leaving behind a renewed sense of cosmic balance. As the cataclysmic energies began to subside, Zara felt herself being pulled back together. Her expanded consciousness contracted, returning to the confines of her physical form. She had glimpsed eternity and lived to tell the tale. With a gasp, Zara found herself back on the Lizari station, collapsing to her knees on the teleportation platform. Naya and Zephyr were at her side in an instant, supporting her as she struggled to reorient herself. Did it work? Zara managed to croak out, her voice raw as if she'd been screaming for eons. Naya's face split into a radiant smile. "See for yourself," she said, gesturing to the view screen. Where once the Void Hunter fleet had loomed, there was now only empty space. But it wasn't truly empty. Zara could see swirls of cosmic dust and energy, the building blocks of new stars and worlds. "You did it," Zephyr said, all evident in their voice. "The Void Hunters are gone, and in their place, potential, new life, new possibilities." Zara smiled weakly, feeling the weight of her experiences settling into her bones. She was changed irrevocably. But so was the universe. And somehow, against all odds, humanity had played a pivotal role in shaping its destiny. As the Lizari erupted in celebration around her, Zara closed her eyes and allowed herself a moment of quiet reflection. The battle was won, but she knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps onto a much larger cosmic stage. And Zara Chen, the woman who had faced down the heat death of the universe itself, couldn't wait to see what came next. Cosmic Renaissance. The days following the defeat of the Void Hunters were a whirlwind of activity and emotion. As news of the victory spread across the galaxy, representatives from countless alien civilizations began arriving at the Lissari station. They came to offer thanks, to seek alliances, and most of all, to catch a glimpse of the legendary human who had changed the course of cosmic history. Zara stood before a massive window in the station's grand hall, watching as ships of all shapes and sizes continued to pour in from across the stars. The view was breathtaking, but Zara's mind was elsewhere. Credit for a thought. Naya's melodious voice broke through Zara's reverie. Zara turned to her friend with a small smile. Just thinking about home. Earth seems so small now. How do I go back to a world that has no idea what's out here? Naya's luminous eyes shimmered with understanding. Perhaps you don't have to. The galaxy is changing, Zara. The age of isolation is over. Earth deserves to know its place in the cosmic order. Before Zara could respond, a commotion near the hall's entrance caught their attention. Zephyr approached, accompanied by a group of beings unlike any Zara had seen before. They seemed to be made of pure energy, their forms shifting and pulsing with barely contained power. Zara, Zephyr said, excitement evident in their voice, allow me to introduce the cosmic architects. They've come a very long way to meet you. One of the energy beings floated forward, its voice resonating directly in Zara's mind. Gioritinges, Zaoracchen of Earth. We agavobsarve your Asicians with great intiwariest. Zara bowed slightly, feeling somewhat overwhelmed. It's an honor to meet you. I'm afraid I don't know much about your people. The being's form rippled in what might have been amusement. Few do. We are guardians of course and make balance. OVERCERs of UNIVERSSL coanstantias. Your DFEAT of DEVOIT hunters, Hages USTAEREDNANUEY of possibilities. Another of the architects chimed in, its mental voice tinged with excitement. The harmonioi tasfade, eucuriatd, ATAS delani mooi than defeat a threat. It ATAS OPENE NEU higate dalhilaes of covas amac evolution. Zora's eyes widened as the implications sank in. You mean we've changed the fundamental nature of the universe itself? Precisely, the first architect confirmed. The ENARGING of LYSARIQUNTM science and human, UNPREGICT ability, HAS SKIPAREATD ANEU paradigm. The cosmic renaissance begins anew. As if on cue, the space outside the station window began to shimmer and shift. Zara gasped as she witnessed the birth of a new nebula, swirling with colors she had no names for. Stars coalesced in the blink of an eye, and she could have sworn she saw the faintest outlines of planets beginning to form. My God, Zara breathed. It's beautiful. Naya placed a hand on Zara's shoulder, her touch conveying a mix of awe and pride. And it's all because of you, Zara. You've given the universe a second chance. Zephyr stepped forward, their eyes shining with newfound purpose. The cosmic architects have extended an invitation. They wish for representatives from Earth and Eros Prime to join them in shaping this new era. Zara's mind reeled at the prospect. To help guide the very course of cosmic evolution, it was beyond anything she had ever dreamed. But Earth, Zara protested weakly, they're not ready for this. We've barely taken our first steps into our own solar system. The architect's mental voice was gentle but firm. Earth's time has come, Zaoracchen. Your species AKS PROVEN AKS worth. The JLXY, nay, the universe, needs the unique perspective, they hate humanity borings. Zara closed her eyes, taking a deep breath to center herself. When she opened them again, they blazed with determination. All right, she said, squaring her shoulders. Where do we start? The next few hours were a blur of introductions, explanations, and plans for the future. Representatives from dozens of alien races joined in, each offering their own unique insights and abilities to the cosmic endeavor. As Zara listened to discussions of reshaping galaxies and seeding new forms of life across the universe, a thought struck her. She turned to Naya and Zephyr, a mischievous glint in her eye. "You know," she said, "Earth has a lot of catching up to do if we're going to be players on this cosmic stage. We're going to need teachers, guides to help us understand our place in the universe." Naya's lips curved in a knowing smile. "Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting, Zara Chen?" Zara grinned. "How would you two like to be Earth's first official alien ambassadors?" The joy that lit up her friends' faces was answer enough. As they embraced, Zara felt a surge of excitement for the future. Earth was about to experience the greatest culture shock in its history, and she couldn't wait to see how humanity rose to the challenge. Months later, Zara stood on a platform before the United Nations General Assembly, flanked by Naya and Zephyr. The room was packed, with billions more watching the live broadcast around the world. "People of Earth," Zara began, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach, "I stand before you today, not just as a fellow human, but as a citizen of a much larger cosmic community. The universe is vaster, stranger, and more wondrous than we ever imagined. And now, it's time for us to take our place among the stars." As she spoke, holographic displays sprang to life, showing glimpses of the marvels that awaited humanity. Alien worlds teeming with life, advanced technologies that bordered on magic, and the awe-inspiring sight of new galaxies being born. "We face challenges greater than any in human history," Zara continued, "but we also have opportunities beyond our wildest dreams. The cosmic renaissance has begun, and humanity has a vital role to play." She gestured to Naya and Zephyr, who stepped forward with warm smiles. "We are not alone in this journey. We have friends, teachers, and allies among the stars. Together, we will forge a future brighter than any single world could achieve on its own." As Zara concluded her speech, the assembly hall erupted in a standing ovation. She could feel the mix of excitement, fear, and hope radiating from the crowd. Humanity stood on the brink of a new era, and nothing would ever be the same. Later that evening, as Zara watched the sun set over New York City, she reflected on the incredible journey that had brought her to this point. From a lone explorer venturing into the unknown, she had become a bridge between worlds, a catalyst for cosmic change. Naya and Zephyr joined her on the balcony, their alien forms drawing curious but increasingly accepting glances from passers-by. "So," Zephyr asked, a hint of excitement in their voice, "what's next for humanity's intrepid ambassador?" Zara's gaze turned to the stars, just beginning to peek out in the darkening sky. A smile played on her lips as she considered the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. "Next," she replied, her voice filled with wonder and determination, "we reach for the stars, all of them." As night fell over Earth, Zara Chen, explorer, scientist, cosmic revolutionary, stood ready to lead humanity into a future brighter and more extraordinary than anyone could have ever imagined. The cosmic renaissance had begun, and Earth was ready to play its part in the grandest story ever told.